Welcome to the King Chapman Show. It is Friday, June 14th. I am Brent Chapman, and with me is the original Fab One, Jimmy.
I got to make the crown bigger today because I'm sporting the big afro just for you, B.
Jimmy.
I know you've been requesting the afro since day one. So here you go, bro.
I have, Jimmy, when we met for the very first time, you were wearing a visor with the afro sticking out of it. And I'm like,
yeah,
that's my guy. That's my brother right there.
Old school 1970s. You know, it was a full visor, though. It didn't have the see-through visor.
That's right. You guys are all very lucky that are watching now because I was in the pool. It's about 90 degrees here in Dallas, and it's Friday night, and the Mavs are on, and Jimmy and I were having that. Should we? Shouldn't we? Should we? Shouldn't we? And we decided to do the show tonight. So that is commitment, Jimmy.
We are dedicated to our craft, my brother. Getting our thoughts out on the waves and making sure that our audience is up to date.
Well, Jimmy, we did some pretty awesome shows on Monday and Tuesday of this week, but they will be forever in the lost archives of the King Chapman Show because there were some technical glitches that allowed them to be showing. And so someday, Jimmy, when we're like Hall of Fame broadcasters, somebody will dig those out, fix them and show those lost episodes. But Jimmy, today we are going to dive into Game 5 is going on right now, but we're going to talk about Game 4. Oh, sorry. Game 4 is going on right now. I'm wrong. Game 4 is going on right now. And Game 3 of the NBA Finals, the Boston Celtics beat our Dallas Mavericks at home 106-99, taking a 3-0 lead in the series. I was heartbroken. I thought for certain the Mavs would win this in 6. It's obviously now, Jimmy, they're going to win it in 7. And they're going to be the first team that comes back from 3-0 in the NBA Finals to win the championship. But it does not look great, Jimmy, right now. Tatum is dominating. Jaylen Brown is dominating. Jrue Holiday and Porzingis are involved. The Mavericks were even up by as much as 13, and the Celtics rallied back to win that game. So, Jimmy, with Game 4 on the horizon, with Game 4 going on right now, will the Mavs keep the series alive tonight at home, or are we going to be very sad in the morning?
No, I think the Mavs have too much pride. I think they're too good of a team to go out swept. I think they at least get one, and hopefully 2. They even grab one in Boston. But right now there's a couple of things that are pretty glaring. And Game 3 particularly, you have Kyrie have a pretty good game offensively, and Luka not look so good, and foul out. It's and now we're seeing fingers being pointed at him as being a liability on defense. And that's the difference in the series right now, is that Luka is not holding his own on the defensive end. But what did I say about Jaylen? Jaylen Brown is that guy.
He is very
He
good.
is the best player on the Boston Celtics. and it's going to be proven after he wins the Finals MVP.
Now, Jimmy, it sounds like you think the Celtics are going to win because I was very clearly in my corner that the Mavs are going to win this. And I slipped up here, Jimmy, because I got to be honest with you. I wanted to really discuss, and I completely forgot to put it in this show, that in terrible, horrible decision to have him foul out with 5 minutes left. First of all, they called 2 fouls with 5 minutes left against Luka. He's never fouled out in the playoffs ever. And then they took it up to the booth, and then there was a long delay. So the NBA officials were on the phone. Jimmy thinks the league is rigged. I now think it's rigged. I think they want Boston to win. You do not, any circumstance, follow out Luka Doncic with 5 minutes left like that. That was nonsense. That was the NBA wanting Boston to win. And then, like literally a minute later or 30 seconds later, they called another nonsense foul on PJ Washington to stop the momentum again when they cut it to 2. It felt very much to me like the NBA was putting their little big thumb on the scale in game 3. They did not want the Mavs to squeak that out. Putting Luka on the bench is absurd, Jimmy. What do you think? Am I a conspiracy theorist, or do I have some validity to what I'm saying?
There is a conspiracy theorist, but not about this. So I disagree. I don't think there's a conspiracy theory with this particularly. I just think that unfortunately Luka is being exposed, and it's obvious that even before the game starts, it's almost like he's watching the refs. Like his focus should be on leading his team, making buckets, and keeping the guy in front of him. It's almost embarrassing how he's allowing people to go by him, and these fouls that he picks up are really, they don't change the game, or they don't have the potential to change the game or any kind of play that he's making. And also going back to what you said about Boston, you know, and the Mavs coming back and winning 4 in a row, they'll be the first team out of 14 tries to do so. So I applaud you, my brother. That's what I love about you. You always gonna make sure you ride or die with your squad.
That's right, my friend. And I'm going to tell you a little story. The hardest one is going to be tonight and game 5 in Boston, because after that, if you're 3-2 after being down 3-0, that game 6, I'm telling you, that's all the mo is on the Mavs at that point. The Celtics are tensing up. They're getting a little sweaty. And then if they tie it up and it goes to game 7 after being down 3-0, it's over, bro. It's over. So I'm telling you, tonight, and I think it's Monday, Tuesday maybe, those are going to be the toughest games for the Mavs. They can gut those out.
You seen the Phantom of the Opera?
Of course.
Jaylen Brown is the Phantom of the Opera.
I don't want to hear anything about him right now. But you know what's embarrassing? You brought that up a minute ago, Jimmy. You know what's embarrassing is the Mavs bench. This series has been all about Luka and Kyrie. I mean, they have put up 60, 70, 80 points a game. I mean, they're literally doing everything they can, but they can't do it by themselves. And more importantly, they're here because of the team of Derek Lively and Gafford and Kleber and Derek Jones and Josh Green. They're in Tim Hardaway Jr. They're here because those guys contribute. Dante Exum, right? And Jalen Hardy. I mean, they got a deep bench that contributes to this game. It's a different guy every game. But in game 2 and game 3, Derek Jones, 5 points. Josh Green, 2 points. Derek Lively, 2 points. Like, That can't happen. You can't. I don't believe the Mavs can be victorious in this series with the bench not contributing. What do you say, Jimmy? Can the Mavs do this with just Luka and Kyrie, or they got to get some help tonight?
No, absolutely not. They have to have help. The guys who you relied on during the regular season and throughout the playoffs to get you to this spot, you at least need those type of numbers in production. The numbers are falling off a little bit, but are you ready for this? It's not because of them. It's because that the guys like Luca and Kyrie are ball dominant and the
Mhm.
ball is sticking. And so instead of getting those slash to the basket dunks, wide open threes, what they're still getting, but they're not hitting. So it goes both ways. So Luca, he is finding open guys and they're not knocking down shots. So therefore, they're just really doubling up on Kyrie and Luca. But the guys like Jones Jr., Washington, Kleber, Tim Hardaway, Lively, all those guys, Green, Exum, all the guys you mentioned, um, they have to be in a rhythm. And if that ball is not moving the way that it should, then it's a harder shot. They're not in rhythm for what they've been doing for 100+ games. So they got to get back to that.
Interesting, Jimmy. So that's a great take on that. Part of the problem with the bench is the fact that it's Luka and Kyrie that are so taking so it's not just they're not playing well, it's they're not getting involved. They're not being
Yeah,
involved by the two
you got to
studs.
absolutely.
And I think part of the problem is like Kyrie has not had a Kyrie game and probably since the Oklahoma City series. So
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie needs a Kyrie game, and
Making them
Kyrie's
work.
trying real hard to have a Kyrie game, and it's alienating
Right.
everyone else, and that's part of the problem. So,
Mhm.
well, Jimmy, we will see. I certainly agree with you that it's got to be a team effort. So now we move along to the Celtics themselves, who you're going with the 3-0 and they're this is just a matter of time. You're not a true believer like B Money here. Uh
I'm a numbers guy.
yeah, that's right. So Jimmy, I mean, we look at the Celtics and I think there's a lot of questions to ask. But is this the team to get over the hump? Does Drew Holiday have their number? I mean, look, Drew Holiday shot 80%. He's just absolutely dominated in this series. The Celtics, you know, they're all coming together. Jalen Brown, Derek White, Jason Tatum, Porzingis, they're all contributing. Is this the year they get over the hump? Is this when it happens?
It sure looks like it. I mean, they're up 3-0. They look like they're in command. And you mentioned Drew Holiday, Al Horford, JT, Derek White. There was an analyst, I think it was on NBA TV or maybe even CBS, I think, but he mentioned that the Celtics have four Hall of Famers, and
Oh, come
and
on.
it and
Who is a
well
Hall
you
of
have
Famer?
Drew,
Come on.
you have Drew Holiday, Al
Drew
Horford,
Holiday is
JT, and
not a
and
Hall of
Jalen
Famer.
Brown.
Drew
J-
Holiday is not a
Holiday
Hall of
will
Famer.
be he will well if he's not, he's close to it. And so, but the point is that three Hall of
That
Famers or
is
possibly four Hall of
absurd.
Famers
Who
is
who
is
wait a
is
minute. Wait,
different is
I gotta think
different
about this.
than
Who wait,
is
you got
different.
me all
So
worked
so
up.
tell me who was it? So which so Al is in for sure. Al Horford, he has a championship. He has two college championships.
Wait, hold on, Jimmy. Who said that there's four Hall of Famers on the Celtics right now? Who said that?
I don't know his name, but it's a guy. But he made the point
On
was
ESPN or
is that
something? This is nonsense. Okay, look.
the point
Look,
was is that the Celtics doesn't get the credit because if you look at what they've done this year, they've broken records of all-time great teams. And then when you really look at the players, you have possibly 3 to 4 Hall of Famers on that
Potential.
team that aren't like glaring Hall of Famers. So the point was is that this team is like years past we'll look back and say like this is one of the great teams, and they're doing it because we've seen it as far as their record and their dominance in their run. That was the point.
Okay. So I will agree with you that you may look back and say, wow, this was a Hall of Fame team and there was 4 Hall of Famers on it. But there are not. That is absurd to say that there's 4 Hall of Famers on the team right now. There is 1 on the team right now, Jason Tatum.
And which one is it?
Jason Tatum. The others are not Hall of Famers. No way. Drew Holiday has done
Jaylen Brown wins final MVP.
Jaylen Brown could be someday and is definitely trending in he is not a Hall of Famer right now. Dude, look, let me ask you a question. Is Juwan Howard a Hall of Famer yet today? No, he's not. But he's a Hall of Famer.
Yes, he is.
Is he in the Hall of
Fame? Are you counting his whole work or just the NBA work? You counting his
Is he
whole
in the
entire
NBA
career?
Hall of Fame?
Huh?
Is he in the NBA Hall? I think Weber's the only Fab Five guy in the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah, Juwan is not in the Hall of Fame.
He should be. He should be. So if you're telling me Al Horford is going to be in the Hall of Fame, not before Juwan Howard gets in the Hall of Fame, bro. That's nonsense. Is Jalen Rose in the Hall of Fame?
He was saying they're Hall of Fame. No, Jalen is not in the Hall of Fame, but he should be.
Is Jalen Rose in the Hall of Fame?
All of us should be in the Hall of Fame.
Drew Holiday isn't getting in the Hall of Fame until Jalen Rose is in the Hall of Fame.
Aesthetics, the way that they're able to play, the way that they're able to talk, the way that they're able to express themselves, the way they're able to look.
Here's what's going to happen. Ah, there we go. We got it on. See? And you guys think I'm the Michigan homer. Hail to the Victor Valley.
Victor Valley, hail to the concrete heroes. Hail, hail to Michigan, the leaders at best.
There you go. Boom, boom, boom. Jimmy, my point, Jimmy, is there are. I just used the Fab Five guys as an example. There's so many great players in the league who aren't in the Hall of Fame. To throw around that there's 4 Hall of Famers on the Celtics is absurd.
No,
now, I'm not calling you absurd. I'm calling the guy who said it absurd. All right. All right, Jimmy. Now moving on to another team that is down 3-0 also, and we predicted this, Jimmy, is the Edmonton Oilers.
Laughing at me.
Now, Corey Perry, Jimmy, is on the Oilers. He is an Oilers player. And he is the only Oiler with a Stanley Cup ring, winning in 2007 with the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. So he's an old dude. As his team is facing elimination in Game 4, he told his teammates, it's real simple. Play like it's your last time in the Stanley Cup Finals, because you might think you're really good. You might have been there on the precipice, but it's really hard to get here. So you better play like this is the last time you're ever going to be back here and fight for every game, and then we can come back down 3-0. And I think that that's great advice, Jimmy. The Oilers lost Game 3, 4-3 on Thursday, and they've just been making a lot of mistakes. And like we said, offense versus defense, and the other team just wants it bad. They've not been able to come back. And Jimmy, my question is, will the Oilers come back from down 3-0? Now, they got the offense to turn it on, but I'm going to go the other way. And I'm going to say, well, the Mavs are going to come back down 3-0, but the Oilers are not. They are cooked. That's it. Jimmy, what do you got?
Well, you got beef with them anyway, so I understand why you're going up against them. I know you don't want them to win just because they don't have any love for your loyalty to your Bills posse.
There is no reason that a hockey coach in Edmonton needs to come way across his lane and take a shot at Bill's Mafia. Yes, I am still mad at him, and that is why I am picking that he gets swept right out of the playoffs, Jimmy.
B. It's just he's just being a novelist. That's all. But anyway, the yeah, but of course we picked the right, the Panthers. We got one right, right? How is that basketball is my specialty or supposedly, but I picked hockey, right? I might have been a better hockey player. I told you it's just basketball on ice.
Yeah, that's right.
And if I would learned how to skate, I would have been the great one.
Jimmy, I actually, as you know this, played hockey as a kid, and I would love to take you out to the ice. We got lots of great rinks here at the Stars Center in Dallas.
See, that's what we got to do, bro.
We got
to have a live show.
Should have a live
with
show.
you dunking the basketball and me slap shotting.
we could get some footage of us on the ice. We could definitely make that happen.
Yeah.
Well, Jimmy, from the ice to one bad mamma jamma. Here we go. Our guy, straight out of the cell block D to the green to the 8th grade. We got Scottie Scheffler. Now, Scottie recently off of his
D block.
Yep, Scottie got the little eardrop, the little teardrop tattoo when he was in. He was doing some stretching, getting the little tattoo.
He got the gel tattoo.
Yeah,
he got the gel tattoo behind his ear.
He's got it.
He's got the tatted tear.
So
he just put a little makeup over it. So if you look closely in the tear, he got a 6.
So Jimmy,
for the 6 under that he shot coming straight out the clean.
The teardrop. That's right, Jimmy. He this past Saturday showed up at the Memorial and won quite convincingly, and came back on Colin Moriaka, who had the lead, and beat him in the final round to win his 5th in 7 tournaments, Jimmy. But this weekend, he at Pinehurst, he's not been doing so well. But they think he could turn it around. So, Jimmy, is there anything that can slow Scottie down, or is he just kind of like today he threw his club and like broke it in half? Like, he is gangsta. Now, Scottie gangsta.
Hey, it's kind of liberating once you had your freedom, kind of jeopardized or kind of snatched away from you. So when you break out or you get out, you're just gonna wild out for a while. I think he's just wilding out. His wild out was winning the tournament, and he came back to show it like that wasn't the fluke. But now his, it's like Murphy's Law. Sometimes it's as good as it gets. It could be just as bad. And he's somewhere at the bad right now, but he's so good that he's going to get it back to the good. And I believe in our guy from Dallas, Fort Worth area, Scottie Scheffler.
He was in jail for all of 45 minutes, and he's acting like Mike Tyson now. He is bad, hardcore. He is
telling you,
breaking his club.
You sit up in that cell, and you realize like they have control. Yeah.
Well,
Jimmy, get out. I'm wilding out. I'm breaking clubs. I'm hitting bark off trees.
Well, Jimmy,
skipping balls across the pond, ricocheting it off the stands.
That's right. He's a bad dude. You don't want to mess with him. If you want to stand in the galley with Scottie Scheffler, you better watch out because he might break his club. Well, Jimmy, transitioning from a man with a teardrop tattoo with a 6 in the middle of it, we are moving to a man with some of the greatest tattoos in all of professional sports, Mr. Conor McGregor. So earlier in the week, it's kind of weird. The press conference for UFC 303 between Michael Chandler and Conor McGregor was canceled. Then they finally confirmed that there'd be a fight. And now we learn that he's not going to fight. McGregor is, quote unquote, injured and he will not. His long-awaited return to the octagon will be delayed. So, Jimmy, are you sad that the on again, off again fight that McGregor got canceled?
No, it's just
Oh!
another level of business. It's just another level of business. That's all. And that's why the picture that is circulating is of him in a suit. He's handling his business right now. There's a season for everything. And in the summertime, if we know a little thing about Mr. McGregor, he likes to get it in. So I think he wants to dedicate this summertime to getting it in and handling some business. And then when the weather cools off a little bit and things slow down, then he could get back into the octagon and throw those paws. But until then, he's suited out, suited and booted, and he's ready to just kick it and have his hot boy summer.
Well, I am very sad, Jimmy, because I love a good Conor McGregor fight. I love it when he's out there talking and yapping. This guy has got about as many brain cells as this one bottle of like, but he is fantastic to listen to. He just, you don't ever
Absolutely, he
know
knows
what's
how to
going
sell
to
a
come out of
fight.
his. And Jimmy, I'm going to tell you, man, I love that tattoo. So, Jimmy, I am a blank canvas. Not one
That's
tattoo
another
on me,
look,
Jimmy. And
a whole
I,
nother show.
I,
We're
I,
gonna
I
go get some tattoos, bro.
we need to.
We're gonna
And
find a tattoo parlor, represent Dallas, that's hot
and
in
we
the
can go
Dallas
get him.
area.
Jimmy, I don't just want to be a guy that goes and gets creative and says, I got something that represents me here and here. I want to be the guy that goes and gets the best tattoos from everybody else. So, what I want to do is, I want to get the Conor McGregor tattoo on my chest. I want to get the Mike Tyson tattoo on my face. I want to get the Cody Rhodes tattoo on my neck.
No
I
doubt.
love that
Yeah,
one
so
that
you gotta get
Luca
somebody that's
has,
good and a good
that wolf
artist.
thing on Luca's forearm. I love that one. I got to get one over here. Megan Fox has got those sexy ones, on her back.
Yo, here you go, man. You losing me again. There you go again, bro. Nothing sexy for you, okay? We are out the sexy business.
Oh, I
When it
don't get
comes
a
to
tramp
tramp
stamp. Is that
stamps
what you're
and
saying?
sexy
No.
tattoos, that's not our thing, okay?
Well, Miley Cyrus has those kind of cool, like ones
Oh
that
my
kind of
god.
like these little random things that kind of just show up. I might go that
Who?
route.
Who did you just say? Did
Miley
you say
Cyrus.
Miley
I said Miley
Cyrus?
Cyrus. That's right, bro. I told you, Jimmy, if I'm gonna pick the best tattoos, I just can't be just these. I gotta get some of these other ones on here too. Maybe
I got to
some.
bring the manliness back into this show, right? Big with the fist, afro, okay? Double fisted up. Miley Cyrus.
Jimmy, look,
Come on, B.
this I have lived many years, Jimmy, and this canvas is clean. Now, my mom told me that if God wanted me to have a tattoo, he would have put it on me. So I have this beautiful birthmark on my leg, and I'm going to stick to that, Jimmy. And that is my last word about tattoos. Jimmy, what is
That is
your
awesome.
last word? Any final
I,
thoughts on
I
the
I
show?
I will echo that sentiment and say that my mother also said the same thing to me, but being the typical hard-headed baby king that I am, I had to go off and do my own thing. But it was definitely when I was away from her rule.
Well, I'm
Mom
glad
wasn't
to hear that
having it.
Mama King established the rules.
What? Mama
I'm
King
glad
runs the
Mama King
show.
established the right rules.
And then I got, Pops just hold it down. He's just a smart man. He just be like, you know, you're like,
Well, Jimmy, my last word is I do not feel great about the Mavs right now, but I can get revved up. We get a win tonight. We get a win in a couple days in game 5. Now we're cooking. Now I'm feeling good. You don't want to give the best duo in the NBA an opportunity to believe they're in it, Jimmy. And that's what I think. The Celtics have got 2 games to snuff this out. One in Dallas and one in Boston. But if they let the Mavs get some confidence and some momentum, watch out. We could have history on our hands. And that is my last word, Jimmy. Thank you,
That's a
everyone, for
great
watching.
last word.
Thank you, Jimmy.
That's a great last word because that will be the last word for the Mavs in the next couple of days. But
Thank you,
my
everyone,
last word is going back. My last word is going back to Conor McGregor because you know he's going to roll up in the octagon with a full length mink on or something. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my guy. He's going out there to collect some checks so he could come out with the fanfare, the look, and all of that, and handle his business so that he could keep collecting checks. That's what I appreciate about that young man. He knows how to put on a show and produce a show. That's my last word.
He is fantastic at that, Jimmy. And that's what I say. That's why I love watching him, is because he knows how to perform. And that's kind of what this is. I mean, you got to be a great fighter, but you also got to put on a great performance. So great last word, Jimmy. Everybody, thank you for watching. Have a great Friday night. Peace.
Peace.